All right, fantastic. Okay. Okay. Let's give it kind of like 5 minutes just to see if anybody, we're still waiting on somebody because I know it can be a bit of a drive. But
Archibald wasn't sure if he was allowed to come.
oh yeah, he can come. Anyone from the cabinet, to be honest.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's what I think it is?
Hi.
Oh my god. The legendary bee machine lady. I can't believe it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
How's it going?
That's going good. Be better if I could borrow your lighter.
Got here.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God,
Okay.
Wyatt. Oh, hey, Wyatt.
Junior said that he may be able to make it. I saw. Oh wait, Gage is right there. All right.
Mr. Mayor, do you want me to call up Mr. Carmine and let him know that if he isn't here in 5 minutes, you're giving me his job?
I think we're gonna do that anyways.
Oh, perfect.
Well, no, you can't. Not his job actually. That needs to be someone in the police department. Since they're kind of the liaison. Okay, I think we can sort of start. I want to start by apologizing with the notice. I sent it after midnight, so the tomorrow probably came across as Sunday as opposed to Saturday. So I am going to try to schedule a more pre-planned meeting. Perhaps, and I'm what we're gonna probably do is like find out what everyone's availability is, give some options, have everyone sort of react to it, and then based on criticality, in other words, the criticality of that of who's attending, we'll pick a more permanent date. So I wanted to hold a meeting because there's been a lot of planning behind the court center, but the reality is that there's been a lot of uncertainty as to when things are going to come along, and in turn figuring out a date for a soft launch. How's the soft launch going to look? How are we going to like plan the building, etc., has been very like we've had to make decisions in real time effectively. So I want to start by saying that we have more construction coming along the way. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I think it would be inappropriate for a city's construction. And plus, I don't want to provide any hard dates. I will say at a very high level, the key things that we are requesting is the ability for mall security to sign in and out and have equipment. We are pushing for non-lethal but incapacitating utilities, specifically things like rubber bullets that may knock someone out and they'd be able to possibly get back up, like zip ties, right? Things that would allow you to prevent a thief from taking things and running out of the facility. Furthermore, I am aiming towards, I don't want to see this turn into senior buns again, and I cannot guarantee this happening, but watching Senior Buns has become a place where you can farm weapons and just farm civilians. That's how I look at it. And there's no real good solution. I've seen how law enforcement acts, right? Someone has something in there, it turns into a crime scene for 40 minutes. It disrupts business. It disrupts conversations. It turns the place into kind of a bit of a shit show. And I don't really want to see that happen here. I'm hoping for some sort of security border that upon entering into the realm of the court center, I want to see all the local mall authorities stripping everyone of their weapons and making it available for pickup over at the front. But I would not be surprised if individuals that walk in here may end up breaking equipment and using it as tools to break into the various facilities that both exist or may come to exist. You with me? They may bust down this lamp over there, thus causing a mall security dispatch call, which, you know, would need to be investigated and all that jazz. Moving away from mall security, though, I want to focus on the immediate objective. We currently have courtcenter.me, which is our homebrew transaction website. This tool is meant for not just staff, but in the future, vendors and also customers to have a way to see what is currently in stock, make their transactions, and manage our books. I've been spitballing how we can do a soft launch to not only beta test this, but also give people in the city the ability to start kind of utilizing this facility ahead of the next phase of construction. I think this is going to be good for a number of reasons. Number one, I think there's plenty that we can do in advance of any construction. But we may not get all the faculties that a lot of the stuff we're doing today is manual, right? Our original vision was we're going to have a set of goals. The city is going to come together. They're going to get us material, and we're going to see the thing like slowly build up. I think that was a cool pipe dream. I think the reality is that the goals that we have up on the website, while interesting, do not benefit the majority of the civilians. I think the civilians right now want to see the stalls come up, and they want to start interacting with each other and the facility. So here's what I have come up with. With the feedback I've received, I am thinking come Monday, an hour after tsunami, we do a soft launch day for about 4 hours. We allow vendors to come up in advance of this, between now and Monday, come up and sign up for that 4 hour period. Either they can do the full 4 hours or just like, you know, a slim amount of it. They can put their applications in. This allows us to test the website, test the stalls, test our front marketplace, and get our main staff like acclimated with how things operate. Also, it allows mall security to have some things to do. The reason I want to go down this approach is the reality is we can't run 24/7 when all our stuff is manual. You know what I mean? Like, and I what are your thoughts on this so far?
I think it all sounds good.
All right. As I put even more thought into it, I am thinking Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday of this week. 4 hour brackets. We can choose to extend it beyond those 4 hours, but I will leave that up to the staff. If they're like, hey, shit's popping off here, let's extend by another 2 hours, I'm going to give that like opportunity. Does raise your hands if that time slot works for you? Okay. So, all right. I'm going to throw something else out because I know, Jason, that's outside of your time bracket. Do you think it would be better that Monday, Tuesday, it's an hour after tsunami, and Friday, Saturday, it's 4 hours after tsunami?
Friday, Saturday, or Friday 4 hours after tsunami would work better for me. Saturday, anytime I am available.
Let's do that then. We can hit a bigger period then. So let's pencil in Monday, Tuesday, 4 hours, or 1 hour after tsunami, we operate for 4 hours. And then Thursday, Saturday, 4 hours after tsunami, we'll put that in too. And I think what we should do is we'll talk to our intern and get him to put those specific dates on the landing page. We can utilize this as an opportunity to learn, because by doing these small like beta tests, right? Because it is a beta test, we can immediately, like, we run for 4 hours and afterwards we just huddle and say, okay, what's working, what's not working, what sucks, what doesn't suck, and we can kind of iterate on that for the next day. And then iterate again for Thursday, Friday. This will begin to line us up to understand what are people interested in, where are our problems, how do we fix it, and simultaneously, we don't end up falling into this trap of a logistical nightmare of making everyone feel that they got to be here like 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, I don't think without sign-ins and sign-outs and some of the things inside being a little bit more automated that we're going to end up burning out, right? And I don't think we want that.
I have a question. Is it going to be
Absolutely.
Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday.
You
My
said both.
apologies.
Friday, Saturday. Okay.
So that's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday and Tuesday, and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday. Do you think there's enough people 5 to 9 to run stalls? This is a good question for you, Jason. How much activity civilian life is popping 5 to 9, in your opinion?
Based on water, and I know I can't determine civilian from non-civilian on water, but there's always people looking for food.
Okay. I will work with Manx, who wanted to sort of run some of his stall stuff here, and see if we can cover those times. I can also try to approach some other stalls as well. And Jason, if you can maybe do the same, that would be amazing.
Okay. Worst case scenario, Danks does have munchies that we can always have available as well.
There's also, you know what runs at night? There's my daughter / sister runs a fish shop in Shumash now.
Ships. I
Yeah.
was about to mention
Yes,
that.
yes,
That's
I
really
saw
good
that
at night.
yesterday. Mm-hmm.
That, hell yeah. Okay. I think that would be cool, because remember these stalls. So the idea behind the stalls too, right, is so actually let me dial back a bit, because I know that the idea behind the court center, I think, has sort of been lost, partially in the absence of my cabinet during the winter break. We've been off and on, and then we haven't been able to collectively meet. I want to kind of walk everyone through the court center so there's a bit of a better understanding of the core paradigm or formula that we're baking off of. Now, obviously, some things are going to become a little bit more obvious once further construction is made. But given that we have to sort of manually solve the social aspects that the city imposes on us, right? How people behaviorally work. The idea behind the court center is the centerpiece is the fulfillment center. Now, the fulfillment center is, think of it like Amazon, right? I like to use Amazon because it's a very similar concept, but it's Amazon owned by the county, where the third-party sellers are the ones that are the main beneficiary. So let me explain this. Every single item in Los Santos, from car parts to upgrades to material to wood, you name it, is going to be in our facilities downstairs and in our inventory. When a customer arrives, right, they can be greeted by any one of our staff members. Those staff members can fulfill orders for anything someone needs in the city. That's going to include items that are currently in the U-Tool and in the Mega Mall down in the south. So if you need anything, you can come here and you'll be able to purchase. Now, you might be one common thing that I've been hearing folks say is, well, isn't this going to kill all the businesses? It doesn't, and I'm going to explain why. I want you to think about when you need to purchase something, how often you have to like really get on Yellow Pages, search around. Some people got it. You got to wait for this guy. It becomes, and you end up selling it from the back of a vehicle. we're providing availability. You need something, we're going to have it. Now, the idea is that this is going to trickle down to the stalls. Why? Because let's say 3 people come down here to just go buy like, I don't know, like a thing of wood. They come down here and they're like, oh, you know, I need 10 wood for like a chair or something. They come here. They're going to be like, oh, shit, lumber unit. Our staff is going to be like, well, we can't sell wood right now because our system has automatically logged that the lumber union is operating. And as a consequence, our staff is not going to be able to sell the wood. Instead, they're going to walk over to the lumber union stall and make their transaction. In the same vein, if there's like a parts dealer that has their stall open right across the way, it's also going to get blacklisted. You know what I mean? So we're trickling the, like, you know, people are coming in knowing they can get something, but then they're getting forwarded to the stalls in the back. So we're sort of effectively generating consistent foot traffic. Now, understandably, there are going to be businesses across the city that are operating out of their own facilities. We are going to ensure through our, you know, managers and our inventory managers that our prices that we sell at will not undercut other businesses in Los Santos. If any business is like you're selling too low, we are going to adjust. Our goal is availability, not price cutting, right? So if, for example, Wyatt, how much does like basic like plank go for?
22 per Wyatt.
Yeah.
22 to
What I
25.
buy it for.
22 to 25.
22 to 25. If they're doing 22 to 25, we're probably going to do 24 to 27. You know what I mean? Something like that. That way that his business, if Wyatt so chooses, he's like, fuck this place. I'm going to, you know, continue operating out of the Lumberco facilities. That's fine. But we're not going to fuck his business over. You know what I mean? And that's a key aspect of this is we do not want to screw businesses over. Instead, this is a place that we generate the foot traffic, and someone who might come here for a thing of lumber may go to notice that there's a flower shop open. Notice there's something else open. You know, just like similar to how a mall operates. Any questions thus far over that general model? And if you have any concerns about it, please do speak up, because, you know, we're not, you know, not Tim Cook. That's the guy that owns Apple, right? Tim Cook? Yeah, that guy.
Tim Apple?
Tim Apple is that name? Yeah. Gage?
Yeah, Tim Apple.
How will we keep track of the kind of market prices for goods?
That is a great question. Kevin Ram is one of our inventory managers, along with Michael Manx, myself, and Corolla Gambino. That we made a decision a couple days ago that we wanted to separate our executive managers from our sales or inventory managers. Inventory managers, they're going to keep an eye on the market, as well as our executive managers. And because we're maintaining a bit like a diversification over who we're bringing in those layers, they will collectively work together to do their best. You know what I mean? So there's probably going to be times where we're going to end up underselling or pricing something too high. But I think through the metrics on our website, as well as communicating with people, we will, you know, I think we should be able to pull it off pretty well. So do a lot of work, I think is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I was just thinking if there's any way for, like, if the stalls are kind of selling, do the stalls sell through the website as well, or is that
They
just
can.
for...
Yes. So we're actually, that's something that we were going to do in a phase 2, but we decided to start working on it early. I saw a demo of it earlier today, but the vendors will be able to get a vendor tag, and it will allow them to actually populate their own inventory. So when they go and, let's say Wyatt populates the lumber union one, as soon as he goes to the stall and hits active, it will automatically black out this stuff, but also he'll be able to like give the feedback back. So there's a lot of those features that we're trying to put into that site that give more power to the vendors, make their life even more easier, but also give direct feedback as well. So
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, if you purchase through actual quartz, you could maybe just apply like a 20% convenience fee or something on.
I'm
top.
glad you
That would
mentioned that. In fact, that's what we're planning. Is
Wunderbar.
I wanted to, and this is something, it's probably not going to happen day one. I think day one, I want to have the county actually pay the vendors, the different stalls. I'm going to come up with a final amount, but I'm thinking like we might give them like $5,000 an hour per stall to operate, and then they can divide it up as they please amongst their folks. However, in the long term, I want to subsidize their transactions when they're operating the stalls. So either on a per sale basis or a percentile basis, but that is that's going to happen down the line. So in other words, I want to encourage, I'm not so concerned with like Wyatt. He's got his company's like popping off. You know what I mean? We're going to support him at, like, you know, any way he needs to. But I'm thinking, I'm more concerned with the, okay, I'm going to use an example. Let's say a street tire is like $50,000, right? If you sell it from the back of your car, why would you sell it here? I think that if someone is selling here, I want to see them get some kind of kickback back from the county through the court center. So by operating and selling those things through the stall, they get subsidized. And that's kind of a bit bizarre, but I think a good solution to encourage stall operation and not selling in the back of a truck. And the alternative way, we start fining people for selling in the back of a truck, but people don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want cops arresting people for it. But what do y'all think about that solution?
I like carrots over sticks.
Yeah, carrots over sticks. Absolutely. Now,
So would they be getting a?
do you mind speaking up if you don't mind yelling?
Yeah, I got you.
Easy.
Would they be getting a like kicker bonus just by working out of here, like just being here, or is it when they make sales? So kind of if they're not doing anything, or they still get the money.
Yes. So very early on with the concept of this place, I did not want to have the most profitable stalls destroy the ones that are less profitable. For example, you got Veronica Maz, who wants to run a flower shop. She is not realistically ever going to be able to outsell a stall that's selling car parts, right? So the way that people will level up, right, is going to be more for their activity here and the transactions rather than the amount of raw profit, because those stalls and businesses are already benefiting from the raw profit because they're making a lot of money. So instead, as the courts, we want to make sure that even the small guys end up succeeding. So if for example, Veronica's selling like $100 flowers, right? I want her to still benefit from having that stall open. I have requested that the stall owners actually be able to sign in themselves. And when they're in the premises, they get a paycheck directly from the county. So I think that's going to supplement it. You know what I mean? So whether you're making $50,000 an hour versus $1,000 an hour off your sales, I want all the stall owners to make all the stall employees to make a certain amount on a hourly or paycheck tick-based basis. Now, I know the concern might come up, well, what's going to happen if people sit in the bathroom collecting checks. Well, that's the beauty of our mall police, right? And our staff like Jason. So you might see Jason back here and be like, where the hell is going on with like Carmine's like liquor store? Because like they've been clocked in for like an hour and a half, and she goes checks and like Carmine's just fucking sending text messages in the corner. She might be like, hey, Gary, hey, we got someone like doing some shit, and Gary goes and investigates. You know what I mean? So,
To be fair, it would be surprising that Carmine actually showed up.
yeah, true. Yeah. So, there's a lot of things that might happen here, but I think that's where our staff and our mall police kind of come into play, and they find out figure out those solutions. You know what I mean? So, okay. All right, cool. I want to open the floor for any like general questions, and I will say if I understand that people aren't probably taking notes, we're gonna do a write-up for how and what's gonna happen come Monday and Tuesday, so that there's like some sort of pamphlet available to everybody, so there's kind of no confusion or like what's gonna happen here, what's gonna be the directives, it's not gonna go perfectly on Monday, but that's I'm excited for it nonetheless. Jason?
Are the booth applications on the website?
Michael, could you explain the how that works?
The vendor permits, Jason.
Yes.
So they are on the website. It's I would say it's 95% automated. You basically go on there, you submit your application, and we automatically on the back end side will see that someone has applied, the start date of their permit, the end date of their permit. If their permit expires, their entry in our log will turn red. If it's valid, it turns green. The only thing we need to do is have someone here handing them something that says, your permit was approved. Please pay for it. You're good to go.
Can we,
Someone
after
has to make
this,
the payment.
So that will be something I'll be able to view
Absolutely.
from the website.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, as Jason, yourself, other executive managers, as well as your staff will be able to fully, like, you have ownership over the permits. So if you find that someone's doing some crazy shit and you feel like it needs to be denied, your call. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Yep. And I will say that we are probably, look, we're nervous going into this, right? There's probably going to be a lot of fuck shit that's going to end up happening. I'm going to be here for those 4 hours. And same with Michael, I think.
Yeah.
So as we find problems, issues, whatever, that, as a part of this soft launch beta test, we'll try to, solve them as we go. One thing I do want to mention is that the stalls are kind of like a first come, first serve basis as well. So that, we have how many? 1, 2, there's a lot. I think there's like 8 stalls right now. No, more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 of them. 9, maybe 10 of them. So there should be plenty to go around. But, there is that opportunity that we can rotate them as well over that 4-hour time span. And I think on that day as well, Michael and I are working on a book that will explain that we'll be able to hand out to customers to explain what the vision of the facility is, including what this beta test entails, so that people don't walk away in confusion like, oh, is this it? But they'll see what's coming and what kind of the vision here is,
There will be that book. There's going to be a staff handbook, and there's also going to be like a customer handbook. So people aren't kind of left in the dark trying to understand how to process a transaction, whether they're a customer or a staff member. So we'll try and equip you as best you can.
Hell yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Easy. I think before Monday, I would like to say that I think we might want to open up permits early tomorrow. And I think thus allowing people to preemptively get their permits and sort of try to pencil in when we can expect them. right, with the dates available and all that. And I'm going to work with Michael to try to get that up. And Jason, I'll we'll bring you into that as well, into that conversation as well, and post something out. So that way we sort of have an idea, and people have an idea that they can kind of be prepared to, try out some of the stalls, and see what they can cook in there. Now, Natalia, if you guys don't know, is our fantastic builder here. I think some of this may be news to you about, like how we originally planned to slowly build it up. I'm going to sort of leave it up to you how you want to. I think we're in a stable enough spot that we can do the beta test. But in terms of how you want to build and whatnot, I'm going to leave that sort of in your hands.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we can get the rest of this area down here finished up and get it ready.
All right.
For Monday. I wouldn't.
Easy. Hell yeah. Jason, I believe you do not have a Court Center account yet, or bank
Correct.
account.
I do not.
If you could either now or afterwards put up a business application called Court Center number 5, I will approve it. Talk to a justice, get it approved, and we'll send a mill to it.
Okay.
Yep. And that is pretty much your backup. You know what I mean? If you need to pull money for the Court Center and it's tracked. In terms of money, and this is good for all the mall security to know, we have a bigger management level crate right here where cash is stored. It's probably going to be filled up. And then one that is meant for staff over here. They're going to have like different key codes. But the idea here is like, we're going to be working with a lot of new people, and we don't want someone to go yoink the 100K. But there'll be smaller amounts here and then a bigger amount over here. And the managers will help kind of make sure if there becomes too much excess here, they can, we can overflow it over. Now, understandably, there's probably not going to be, I don't know what's going to be expected in terms of criminal activity, but we'll see how things go. And this is, I guess, for you, Gary and Carmine and whatnot, but there's gonna be no firearms. Keep in mind, right? We're not fully private yet, and we're waiting for the security laws to kind of come into place. The current general SOPs should be observe and report. Carmine, however, is law enforcement. So we may be leaning on LEOs to possibly be here Monday, Tuesday, etc. Maybe undercover. I'll let you guys kind of cook on that. If you want to pull in a Leo or two, want to do an undercover op, have them on standby, I'll kind of leave it up to you. Just kind of know that things might be, it's going to be very unpredictable, right? We don't know what's going to, Monday we might get into a massive shootout here, or they might be quiet. Who fucking knows? You know what I mean?
If I'll be on duty on Monday. I'll speak to my high command. So if anything does come up, I'll be a direct contact to law enforcement.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, if you need anything from me, I am with the Department of Corrections, so I can figure that out with the warden.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. The only thing is just kind of keep in mind that even though you are DOC, Gary, I imagine your firearm and stuff like that should probably not be on your person when operating as mall security, just so there doesn't become like jurisdictional issues, if that's what you meant.
I got my own.
Oh, easy. All right. Quantum, I know, is back on Monday. He's on a trip at the moment. He has not been he's not skirting his responsibilities. He's just, we're still in vacation season, understandably.
If he is, we got Gage right here waiting.
Yes, very true. Michael, could you, I need to handle something real quick on my phone, if you don't mind, kind of.
You want to do storage, Nino? I could do
yeah.
storage over
Could you
here.
please?
Sure. Why don't we take a walk, guys?
I'll stand downstairs. Gotta go grab my A sec.
Perfect. So this is going to be the storage for court center operations, not necessarily vendors, at least not at the start. Right now, as the space is mapped out, the entire outer perimeter of the building is going to be shipping containers. And then we're going to have rows of these crates here up on shelving unit. Each item will have its own crate. It's going to be numbered. So, you know, aisle 1, box 1, you'll find product X. We're in the shipping containers is going to be our bulk storage.
All right, I'm
in
back.
the large crates is going to be more day-to-day storage. So if any staff member decides to do some fuck shit, they are only going to have access to the smaller crates, which means they're not going to be able to get our entire inventory. We also have recyclables here. There's going to be 5 boxes that are dedicated to the MOPEC program that Wyatt will be overseeing. And we're also going to have 5 separate boxes for general court center inventory. We have our lumber storage behind me here. It's placed really strategically. Lumber is very heavy. It's very difficult to move large quantities. So what you can do when you're selling lumber or receiving it is have people take the service access trail. They can bring their vehicle right to the bottom of the stairs, and it just makes the transaction a lot easier. For the managers, it's really on you.
Oh my God, I never
keep an eye
changed
on
it.
Inventory when things need to be pulled out of bulk storage and moved into the daily floats. That's totally at your discretion. That's really a general overview for storage. Keep note of how it functions, especially during the beta period. And if we need to kind of adapt and iterate on our approach to storage, you need to let us know. Any questions on that?
So,
oh, and we are going to try and get some workbenches here, like 5 or 6 of them.
One of the biggest challenges, as you're kind of probably thinking through this shit is fucking complicated, very manual. But what we're effectively doing here is proving the feasibility of the court center. And all the things that become tedious, complicated, etc., we're going to utilize that to get very tailored construction to get ease of mind. So I'm going to use an example. Vendors are probably going to want to store their stuff, right? The reality is, for them to store it, they got to go on the panel. They need a key, keypad. It becomes a headache. But once things are completed, they may have their own storage facility on the outside of the court center in a couple locations, which mall security is going to have to monitor while simultaneously giving them a place to hold their goods. So they don't got to be on them, right? So let's say, once again, using the flower shop example, flower shop vendor may have a couple flowers on them, but then they got a bunch of them sitting in their vending storage, which may or may not get broken into. You know what I mean? So we're kind of, how do I put this? Making it work with sticks and mud, but those sticks and mud are going to turn into nice tools down the line. All right. All right. Any more questions about storage?
You just calling them Italians decorating sticks and mud? Is that what I heard?
No, I meant the our logistical solutions. Let's call it.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yep, absolutely.
Security pertains to security. Would you be okay with us fitting a bunch of cameras in places of interest, like the lobby, the storage
That's
unit?
a great idea. I love it.
All right, we'll get to work on that.
Okay, I like that. Maybe I'm cooking here. And see, look, if anyone's got ideas like Carmine threw out there, please let me know. You know, imagination and creativity goes a long way. What if we did this, Carmine? Yeah. You got, how do the cameras work? Don't you have to add them
I've never tried it. I don't even know if I
it's
don't know.
pretty
It
simple.
might be a huge expense.
Oh.
Well, essentially, you have to utilize the cameras through the app. There is an app which allows you to directly connect to the cameras with a code. So
Mhm.
there's an essential location, but the individual has to have expertise in surveillance, and they'll be able to access the actual tablet. If you don't have expertise, then you can access the tablet, and you can put the code in all you'd like, but you will not be able to see the feed. So you need to be get some work done over at the news station, and you'll be able to access the tablet.
Gage, how are you looking on that?
It's
Well,
very, it's
we'll
very
make that
simple.
we'll make that a priority. Getting all the
Okay.
guards able to access the cameras.
Yeah, it's a particular tablet we have to
Un-
buy from the news area.
Unless the
Oh.
workaround you can arrange, Mr. Mayor.
I have rep. Jason, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm also really good friends with the news guy.
Same.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Same here, actually.
Oh my God.
So
I
if
will
everyone
say
go
this-
ahead and buy one camera each, then we'll be good to go. I think you could buy one camera every 2.5 days, I believe.
How long does it last?
A week. And you
It's
could
a
also
week, yeah.
recharge the battery too if you'd like. So if you place a camera right here, pick it up and put it back down, the battery recharges. So we could probably have
Okay.
a location here just to hold all the cameras.
I like that a lot. I think, Michael, I think we should put a box here. Oh wait, can we stash this? Oh,
At the desk, yeah, you can.
we could probably put, like, for those of us who can get cameras, maybe put some in here. Maybe what's in this room?
As a control center, Quantum told me about this.
Oh,
Holy.
I have plans for
I
more
know it's
storage
gonna
down
be
here,
hard
it's
to
not
fit,
in
but
yet.
if you guys want to come in, so I'm gonna be a little strange here. I personally think that our cameras that we install should be utilized in this
On these
room.
monitors.
Yes. And all our primary staff have a radio channel. So if someone is monitoring the cameras down here, and something happens, see something, they radio it in. In the same vein, our executive managers, myself, Michael, would also be on that channel in the event, we need to contact more security. You know what I mean? I think I think that'd be a bit of a vibe. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. Now,
Call
since
this the control center, and I was thinking, the
Mm.
position of the security door at the mall. If anyone is stationed in there, they can't see 60% of what's going on in the lobby and all the booths. By the entrance, I told you this yesterday. I was going to talk to the decorator, but if we could have a fishbowl overlooking it, similar to how they have it in maximum security, but this is for the mall, overlooking the entire interior, so we can have someone physically there in case anything happens to the cameras. We'll call this the control center, and we'll call that the command center.
So one thing, there's a couple challenges that we have uncovered, some of which is related to the blueprint toolings that we have, where we have some limitations. Some of those are going to go away. TBD in a good way, I think. What I'm trying to say is we might be able to do that soon. We might be able to do that, but we might
Yeah, I
hit
get
an issue. Yeah.
We'll use for now. I'm just going to use the resources we have available to us, and maybe in the future things develop and things become more
Yes.
streamlined.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think any other ideas that anyone wants to throw out there, things that might be, because I really like this camera idea a lot.
I have an idea, but it has nothing to do with security.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
If there is room, maybe setting up some sort of farming. That way, if people need vegetables and fruit for anything, they would be able to come here for those as well.
That is a very good idea. In fact, that's part of one of my requests, is the building directly like facing the double doors. I don't know cardinally which way. Oh, the southern building turn into one that's for events, like boxing ring and theater, that kind of stuff. And that the smaller building just to the north of us next to this turn into a little farming thing separate, but available for people to grow locally. That is going to be around the corner. The reason I wouldn't want to put it here is the fear of, if farming is anything that I've read, moving the sprinklers around and all kinds of stuff like that could, you know,
Oh my God,
accidentally
yes.
break everything. Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
I've never farmed
Absolutely.
before, but like I have this feeling like, you know, I've like read some books on it, and sometimes it was miserable. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, one of the issues with like fresh produce, especially if you have like mashed up that produce in any way, is that it can go off really fast.
It's
there-
good. So the mashed is good for 3 hours, but the sprinklers will keep it fresh if it's not picked for 6.
I was just wondering, depending on what type of stalls we have open, is there any way to get like fridges that maybe can help preserve those goods
On the
for-
list. Yep.
Wunderbar.
Yep. Absolutely. I think these are really good points, and I love the farm aspect of it. There's a bit of a hesitation before last term until things happen, you know. I was hoping that Blaine County could be built up where there could be like farmers producing and shipping things to us. In lieu of that, if there is a possibility we could work with a farm nearby as like I think that's something we might want to lean on for like after this week, I think. Because I think I can't think of any like immediate solutions outside of probably getting us a farming space. But I really like that. I think that'd be really good for a lot of folks. We could give them like a farming permit even. You know what I mean? Where like, let's say, because I don't want to take away from other farmers, but what we could do is if they have an existing farm, then they could get a farm permit where they could farm out of that facility to sell directly at the stall. You know what I mean? So they can be here, but we're not destroying their business. I'm kind of just spitballing. You know what I mean? Like,
Will the there is the grocery store down in the south side. Are the items purchasable there going to be purchasable here as well?
yes, I would like that to be the case. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We're currently working on filling up the inventory. I think what we're going to do is anything that's available at like the Innocence clothing store, the Mega Mall, or the U-Tool up north, we're going to take a intentional loss to drive people here instead of to those local sellers. But we can also encourage people that, I don't know, want to sell cigarettes or something to open a booth, and effectively we've created a business for them. You know what I mean? So
I have two things. One, with the whole farming thing, if we're not going to be open all the time, like some of those most of them are going to go bad overnight, right? So what do we do for those people who like start farming and, you know, either something happens or like everyone's having to evacuate, or, you know, they just, you know, it's time to close up?
I think for the time being, we have to forego supporting farm sales down here outside of those that can support those solutions themselves until we get some kind of thing for it. Either some kind of freezer that can keep things like fresh, or getting a farm for them to work out of. Only because it's just I think too many obstacles for us to figure out like for this week. You know what I mean?
For sure. And then the other big issue that I kind of already saw is parking. There's a number of spots up here, like trying to park on the side of the road going up or down to Court Center is going to be a death trap.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
So there is that large parking lot at the base of Court Center.
Mhm.
So maybe getting something like a small bus or something that you can fit like 6 or 7 people on, that just kind of shuttles people back and forth between those two. So that way you still have people going around. But
Let's go outside. Let's take a look around. I'm kind of a visual person, you know.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is about the lumber area for that receiving area.
Mhm.
That dirt path is scary as hell.
Yes, it is.
So this is where they're supposed to load it up. That for people to load things up. Luckily today, I don't think you're gonna see too much of that happen when we're, you know, live. But I would say that for security, that bottom piece should probably be restricted.
All right.
yeah, I believe there is a parking lot in between Richmond and Picture Perfect on Northford.
Oh, okay.
So like that, I think is like a triple parking lot. It's as big as like the old apartment complex, I think was. Something
Okay.
like that size.
Oh, yeah. The right by the university.
Yep.
Track.
Yeah.
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 The
Okay.
map. Let me send you guys my V1 of this map here. I'm gonna add some stuff to it as it grows, but I figure if you have
But-
any ideas.
But that way, the if you have that up, then people aren't going to necessarily because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to try and steal things out of cars. That's going to be a big thing. There's just going to be so many and so much happening.
Yep. So I think I love the concept. I think we should maybe work with somebody that wants to do transport there and keep it as an option. My only fear is 90% of the city works on AC/DC and they're gonna just park up here anyways. I will add that to the list of things that I'm gonna request from our construction team, is maybe if there's a way to get these locals that are just bothersome to not come up here anymore. Because you're right.
Yeah.
You park anywhere around this corner or not perfectly, your car is gonna get smashed up. Let's run around to the front. Let's see, is there any other like alternative parking spots? Because we could probably end up labeling them up.
There's a couple, like at the front. There's, I think, 6 or 8.
Yeah.
At the front.
Is there any like dirt areas though? Like, we could just make up
Not
parking?
easily accessible. Like you would have to go over a barrier.
I'm carrying a pallet.
Dude, this is gonna be so exciting.
Like you have those over there, and then on either side you have I think like 4 more roughly. About 10.
I think we could mark as recommended parking here on the sides, probably up on the, just ask people to park up on the sidewalk, to be honest.
Yeah. There might be a way of like on that side, because I think there's an opening that you can then get people to park up on the hill.
Yes. Okay. I think that's a good solution.
Yeah. You'd have to like go around that tree and then over this way, but you would be able to make it.
Yep.
Or most cars would.
Absolutely. Okay. This is good. I see, this is kind of the little things that probably weren't in the front of our minds when working through things, but these are little things we can sort of ask for. Luckily, yeah, these locals are freaking crazy. If you put your vehicle on this circle, it will get destroyed.
Yeah, like I think the easiest thing would be if you could just like knock down this wall. Like if this was possible to be just knocked down,
Yeah.
then you just have straight access and it's just dirt parking.
Well, I mean, alternatively, like if these things didn't have all these local cars sitting there, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of parking space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see this all getting filled, even at max capacity.
Yeah. Yep.
biggest
Yep.
I mean,
problem
some
I've
people
seen-
aren't good parkers, so
The biggest problem I've seen is like I think somebody else might have already mentioned it, but the locals like that do drive down through here and then go around that parking lot. They will hit cars that are in a parking right up here.
Oh my.
you would not be in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that certain parking lots spots are never used.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Gary,
I've
could
been,
you help with that? Like setting
yeah, I'll
up
mark them all
like.
out.
Oh, beautiful. I think that's probably a pretty good filler for you know, for you guys, like in between things. One thing I do want to mention about security, right, is I think we should avoid any toll calls up here, at least for the first couple days. I want us to embrace, let's see how people react, and then we come up with what is our reaction the next day, unless we gotta come up with a solution. And
I agree.
I think
Just let everything flow naturally initially. Let people get comfortable, and then we'll impose the restrictions. once we
yes,
see what a problem.
with their rubber guns and like zip ties and all that.
Yeah, but
I think yeah, I think I'm very excited for this, while equally nervous. I think there's going to be a lot of issues we're going to run into come Monday, but I think the beauty of issues is with every issue there's a solution, and I think that's where the fun comes out of. And you know,
and learning and iterating. Absolutely.
I think all right.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll just start putting X's probably tomorrow on all the spots that are never taken.
Ooh, I like it. I like
See how
that.
those going.
Okay. Any general questions here? All right.
Airspace. Because I mean, it's a great idea to have obviously our some type of way to stop weapons from coming here. How are we gonna deal with airspace above it? Someone could just drop a weapon in.
Weapons are gonna be definitely during this beta test. Weapons can make their way in.
All right.
And I think that's why we're gonna need to rely a bit on law enforcement. In relation to what do you call it? If people are bringing expensive things up to sell, myself and other folks that have access to the bigger storage bins can probably help people hold things for a little bit. Maybe Michael, we just put a storage bin down there just for, like, you know, we can retrieve it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they, you know, they only need to hold on to 2 out of something. I don't mind running around. But for the long term, if you're talking about the security fence, some of that is still kind of being figured out. I don't even know if we're gonna get a security fence, but I'm trying to die on that hill, to be honest. Sorry, this is the S chief. Tyler, I need officers to help Carmine come Monday, Tuesday for the court center beta test.
Hey, can you ask him if I can be on
Are you
duty
super
for this
busy?
as well?
Yes, I'm in a meeting.
Okay, well, I just want to tell you this. Here's some juicy tea.
Can I call you right back?
Well, I'm going off duty. I was just saying Trig and Moss are sleeping together. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. You could maybe. Are you around tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, bye. All right, sorry about that. All right, easy. You got. You're gonna get some backup, Carmine. Take your very best, I think. You know what I mean?
Sound good. One thing, can we get access to the building's keys?
Yes.
After this, I want to go and get the cameras and set them up and locate them in positions.
I think you should work with Natalia on that. Like, show her where to put it. But I am going to get you keys. Yes. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't need Home Depot.
Oh, wait, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm going to get you keys anyways. Carmine, obviously, we're limiting keys at the moment to you and Quantum. In the same vein, we're limiting keys amongst our other staff members. And this is because I want you to imagine how big that panel is going to get otherwise.
Yeah.
My plan
Yep.
with the whole security angle, we're not gonna have too many people working security. It's gonna be like maximum around 15, and that's around the clock.
Oh, love it. I don't mind a few of you guys, like, you know, coming in a little hot on those days, as long as you can man them, you know, those 4 days. So, like, if you want to bring 5 through, that's cool. You know what I mean? We'll, you know.
Depending on how restricted certain areas are gonna be, I do see the other guards not having keys as it's gonna make it harder for us to secure the building.
I think we'll figure it out, right? Like, I think there'll be a couple of us on the floor, like me, Jason, Corolla, Michael, etc. Like, if you're out over here, we're like, hey, you need in? All right, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Some things will certainly be cumbersome, and that's kind of across the board. And, you know,
It's figuring out how often that happens and who is actually needed. And
yes, exactly. And
it might only happen like twice, and then something big happens, and we're like, okay, that wasn't good. What do we do?
Yep, exactly. Everything's keypadded. Am I right, Michael, or is that?
It's going to be. We
It's
have
gonna
all the
be?
keypads. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, keypads, by the way, both for security and managers, etc., are all managed on the website. So you'll be able to click lockers and see what the keypad is and actually copy the key without exposing the key, which is a really neat feature. Am I right about that, Michael?
Oh, that would be a question for the intern. I
Oh,
think you're
shit.
right, though.
I think
you're right.
that is the case.
Yeah. It certainly
So-
is for the invitation codes. I think you're right about the keypad.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't even need to like vocalize, yo, it's key number, blah, 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 blah. You just have to, you know, you just pull up the website and it's like keypad number, copy, paste.
So
Easy.
we won't even know what the codes are. We'll just put it in there.
I mean, you can see what they are, but you don't have to, like, it's like blurred out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. I'm guessing they'll be changed on an interval constantly because of how many people are gonna have access to it.
Well, to get access, you need keys anyways. You know what I mean? But this allows
right.
layers of security. So as an example, Jason has access to a bigger amounts of cash, but she brings in 3 staff members. They would not be able to access it anyways. Only she would. But they'd be able to access the other one. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. There's a lot of, you know, when I said sticks and mud, it really is sticks and mud. So, all right.
Mr. Mayor, if I recall correctly, Mr. Carmine was not here when you talked about the dates and times for the soft opening.
Oh, yes. We're going to put a note up on I think the website. It's going to be Monday and Tuesday, 1 hour after the storm. So 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern for 4 hours. Open and close. And then Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we're kind of effectively creating mini events. You know what I mean? And that way it keeps people's interest without, you know, it getting dry until, you know, things get a little bit more established. Okay, cool.
I had a question.
Yep, go ahead.
If you don't want to operate on a 24-hour basis, which is fine, is there going to be set business hours for the center?
I think eventually, yes. I think the only reason we're restricting it at the moment is just so we can get feedback, customers from our staff, mall police, or, you know, how our website's working, and then kind of reestablish what we're going to do the week afterwards based on that.
Okay.
I think once things are more automated, which will happen, it'll become easier for this place to operate even 24/7. You know what I mean? Where a vendor could, in theory, there could be no staff, and a vendor could, in theory, go and clock in and pick a booth. So, but since we have to like manually manage the logistics, I don't want to burn anyone out like having to be around all the time, you know, in case something happens.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, those times are pretty much perfect for me. I'll be around for most of those shifts.
All right. Hell yeah. I know it's gonna leave some people kind of feeling maybe a certain way, because like especially like people in like shift 3 or super late at night or whatever. But I think that's kind of where our book comes into play. Like, hey, we're making sure things are working, and you know, I think once the final things are put into place, people will see why the worth was waited. Why the wait was worth it. Oh fuck! All right, awesome. All right, awesome. All right. Unless there's any other questions, I think we can break from here.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got a list of stuff.
Oh shit! All right.
The blammer.
Right, so
the blammer.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've just been like absorbing everything since we started. So I'm gonna go way the fuck back to like when we were in the initial stages of this meeting. So Monday, I think it's gonna be really, really important to try and figure out a way to define success. And I think one thing that we can definitely do, no matter what else happens here, is to try and get people onboarded onto the website. A lot of the things that are here now might not look this way or operate this way down the line, but having people on the website is a barrier. If we cross now, we won't have to deal with later. So yeah, website, really important. Also, I started buying stuff and adding things to the back end so we can kind of see like what we have. I noticed other people also.
Kevin
own
is
stuff, but
amazing.
it's not like on the website. So like half of the inventory downstairs is tracked, and then like whatever percentage I didn't buy isn't tracked.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And as far as inventory is concerned, I think it's going to be worthwhile to potentially create sections based on like parts specifically or category. So for instance, the car parts, like having multiple different types of parts in one container, it's like space efficient, but practically speaking, if you're actually tracking the inventory versus the website, it becomes overwhelming when you're trying to like run down there, sift through everything that's there and pick out the appropriate part and make sure that you're doing your website paperwork, whether it's buying or selling. I could see that being like a pretty big barrier to people succeeding in this job long term. Then the best way to combat that is just going to be to like, yo, there's a box.
Can you show us that real quick?
Yeah. TLDR, we have to like optimize the fulfillment aspects of the fulfillment center.
I love this.
I'd rather hit the weights any day.
Goddamn pallet.
Okay, so
Let's wait for everybody just so they can all hear it as well.
yeah. Hey, who can see in here?
By the way, I just want to say, Kevin, this is I love this. Thank you so much. Feedback is good.
All right, so if you look in this container, you just pry it open real quick. Everything from the performance clutch parts all the way down to the braking packages. I took pictures of the packaging and I added it to the website. So if you go to the website and you search our inventory by like stages, you could see all the stage whatever parts that are currently in stock based on what I added last night. My feedback on this is going to get really messy, especially with the quantity of parts that we're likely to have as people buy the boxes and open them from us. So imagine if we had just a section filled with clutches, and you had a section filled with brake pads, and you had a section filled with coilovers.
Which I think is what this is, question mark?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Kev, there's gonna be like, now you'll have to fact check me, but it's gonna be like 40 large crates, and it's gonna be one item per crate. And then my plan, perfect. I know Gary has made a map of the space. My plan is to take that map and basically put a legend on it in the inventory channel.
Let me just make sure we didn't lose anyone to a locked door.
And make sure that basically if you don't know what box it's open, you could take a look at that map and know exactly what box what part is in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. I know they have like labels and stuff in the catalog. It'd be cool if we can like label some of the boxes for some of the stuff.
Could you like label the floor?
Yeah.
That's what we do at Lumberco. Have a number on the
This way,
floor
if
in
you
front
didn't
of
want to
each
have
thing.
like one more thing you had to have open, you could just kind of like look. Oh, this is where the carports are.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Also, I put some washing machines in here because I wasn't sure, and there's like a computer here. So we're like slowly getting things.
Oh, fuck yeah. You mentioned earlier that there's things in here that aren't in the website?
Yeah. So over here, I think it's this container. I think someone bought a bunch of parts. So there's like turbos and clutches.
Oh, this is Manx. Yeah, this he
So
didn't buy. I
all
think this is probably his extra shit.
No, he did. He bought it. He gave me the inventory in a list, but he had to add it one transaction at a time. But I have the ability to just reconcile and manually put it all into inventory. in a lot
Oh,
quicker
good.
way. So I have the list, Kev. I just haven't dropped it in yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
this is tedious as fuck the first time you do it, but I imagine every other time that it happens,
I love
quite a
it.
bit easier.
So the reason it hasn't been done yet is because I want to document the process so I could put it in the handbook. So
Okay.
that's
Alright,
the
easy.
whole reason why. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep on going.
Keep
with
going.
what I do. So
Yep,
there'll be a
yep.
point where like some parts are added.
Yep.
But there'll be no inventory for it, but the actual item will be there. Which is the case for kind of everything that I bought yesterday across all the stages.
Oh, it's like a
Alright,
website issue? Like you're adding things, but it's not showing up?
No. So like, it's like the website not aligning with what's actually here.
That is true. Yes. And I think that's
It
going to
really
be...
depends on like how much like we want to like be on top of this, right? So if we didn't give a fuck and we just wanted to get stuff here and have stuff here, then it's fine. But if we wanted to like actually track and be on
I
top
think
of
it
this,
does
then-
need to be. Yeah, we definitely want that. My guess
Especially-
is this is part of the inventory management thing. Is I agree that the more, yeah, we're gonna need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, especially since like there's a lot of people, I guess, that have access to state money, and I don't know. We could just do some fucking crazy shit
Yeah.
if
Yep.
we were so inclined, especially if the inventory wasn't being tracked appropriately.
Mm.
Alright, and then the last point that I had, this
Mm-hmm.
is like a slight critique, and it might be like the ship might have.
No,
sailed on
no,
this,
run it. This is really good shit.
Let's go upstairs real quick.
Okay.
Going up, y'all.
Alright, I think
I'm working on getting my 3 security vests for you guys too.
I don't know who said it. Somebody said that like when you're up here, you can't see like 60% of what's happening. So this is going to be a design critique.
Yep.
I remember back in the day with the markets, and this is also true with the food court.
Wait,
There's
can
like
you not see me when I'm over here?
No. So that's not the critique necessarily. It's like a social one. So when people walk in, the first thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna kind of like look to see what's immediately here. Back in the day, the most valuable booths at the old farmers markets were always the booths up in the front, and we just kind of elected with this design to like not use this real estate, right? So you walk in and you have all the space, and yeah, there's like a moment where you can kind of appreciate the aesthetic. But I think functionally speaking and socially speaking, it would just be better if there were things happening here.
I
Potentially, like,
agree.
booths here and then booths against that wall, so that when you walk in, there are immediately people there, and it could potentially make this place feel more active, even when it isn't.
Yeah,
active. Versus like if it's in the back, if there's 30 people back there, it's going to be really hard to feel that when you walk in this room.
I see what you're saying. Like, how do we... Okay. I think Natalia's taking notes here. I think I will say that one thing that yes, I agree. I think me and Natalia have sort of spoken on that concept, and
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about this is we can make certain things like that happen, which is the beauty of it. I do want to circle back to your first point, is getting everybody registered. And that makes me think that I may pay someone on that day to do account signups, like in a little like thing over here. You know what I mean? Okay. So that way staff, they're like, because if one person gets really good at getting people set up, then everyone else can figure it out. Because if you teach one person how to do it, they can get other people signed up, since it's we call it the deadlock code system. It's you know, everyone who's invited in can invite others. And it's
definitely one of those things where, like, even if this place became like a 3-4 hour shootout / crime scene, if we were still able to get people signed onto the website, then we don't have to worry about that when there is like a mega opening. And, you know, if we do eventually start pushing more sales and promotions through that interface, having them there and having them sort of like socially adjusted to using it is just to our advantage.
Yes, I like that a lot. I like that a lot, actually. I think I'm probably going to help with getting signouts out. That's probably something, Michael, you and I doing that would probably be really good. So folks like Jason and as well as Corolla can kind of focus on more of the people side of things, you know what I mean? And
Well,
that
and
way,
then
if
both
we're
here.
finding, and we can
We're
manage
both
sort of
here.
the tech issues and get our intern on a phone line.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Perfect.
Oh my God. This is fucking exciting. Oh, fuck. We don't have dress code.
Oh yeah.
I can speak for security. I know that.
Yep.
I know that Quentin is working on that, but I'm also going to be able to provide you guys with my vest, so at least security will be good.
Okay. I am spitballing that Monday, Tuesday turns into 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We start 2 hours after tsunami. So we have enough time to get into the city, because that can take up to 40 minutes, right? Get your food, whatever. And then we have an hour before that launch. So an hour to get into the city, and then an hour before the launch to, you know, do whatever we need. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
That sounds good.
I like those times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That way we don't feel like we're rushing. You know what I mean? Which is what I'd be worried of. I think we can come up with some kind of, you know, kit on Monday, and we could always change it, right? Like if we want to wear like blue shirts or some shit. I don't know. Some color coordinated stuff.
I'm thinking.
Will that be listed in the email? That way, if we're a little late, we'll still be able to change before coming in.
Yes, we'll try to keep all comms in the email. It might get a little wild, but anything that goes in the email that becomes like sort of like standard, we'll keep updating our like a manual or something like that. So yeah, we can absolutely do that. Any colors in particular that come to mind?
I mean, looking at the logo, I was thinking black and white. A little bland, but it matches the
also
branding.
kind of like the turquoise.
The turquoise.
Turquoise with like black or gray.
Ooh, okay.
What color is turquoise for those of us that are not palette trained?
Blue green.
Blue. Is that because you got ninja hair? You are blue because.
No, I'm looking at the.
I'm not against it though.
Yeah, turquoise is
as the Fabergé egg.
Yeah, it's the same as a Fabergé. That is true. Okay, I kind of like that.
Putting
like
5 cameras in that room, by the way, Mr. Mayor.
Which one?
To make the Fabergé room, the sacred room. We'll ensure that room is never penetrated.
That's not excessive.
Okay, all right. This is good. This is very good. Like I said, every
the other rooms.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other locations across the way, are they going to be more of a museum? Are people going to be providing art there? Or I was just wondering what our plans were for this area.
Well, I woke up one day and I was like walking around and I noticed it. I think, okay, listen, don't tell anyone this, all right? But I had to really petition the governor for this place, all right? And He came up one day. He's like, "You owe me $270 million."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, I guess. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? We got the money, and you know, there's a." And then one day I wake up and there's a bunch of fucking artwork over there. So I don't know what that's for. That might be the governor's like personal prized possessions.
All right.
So, but I can't say
what
with
if-
certainty.
What if we have the soft opening in that auction room back there? You know, the staff that work here, everybody introduces themselves, and then we come over here.
Oh, you know what? Great idea. Love it. So an hour after tsunami is the staff meeting, right? Here's what's going on. Last couple things. Da-da-da-da-da. And then 10 minutes before soft launch, boom, we do it. I love it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Now, I want to sort of reiterate, I very much see this as a community-driven opportunity. If you know people that are interested in running a stall, if you have people that want to work staff, if you have ideas, if you have critiques, if you're not feeling it, let us know. Like, we are here to take, you know, constant feedback is good feedback, you know? Like, I know Kevin here came with a list of shit. That was dope. The security camera idea, sick. Jack, some of the things you brought up, amazing, right? Like, these are, like, this kind of idea building is fantastic because, if we have an idea, there might be a way for us to do it. And if there isn't a way for us to do it, but it's a really solid idea, who knows? Maybe we can, I can, you know, convince the governor. You know what I mean? So,
I
all
will
right.
say too that in terms of the design, there are several things that are meant to be here that aren't here yet. So this is not the
True.
final product. That there's a lot still coming. It just has to be put down.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
I think I would die on the hill of that like front area boosts. Boosts, get rid of stairs in back, and then upstairs, whatever the vision is, plus like executive, private suites, offices.
Well, the stairs have to be right there because that's a permanent fixture. I can't move that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, look, this place is trust me when I say when you have an idea of what this place looks like, I think it's going to look real good. But actually one thing, Natalia, could we get all the equipment related stuff off the front floor for Monday?
Yeah. Once I get everything down in here, I'll move it upstairs.
Oh, beautiful.
So it'll be
right.
all cleaned up and ready to go.
All right. All right. Well, I don't want to keep everyone all night. I think this is really good. If you have questions, any sort of queasiness, don't worry. It's all going to be, we're going to be on it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, but it's all going to be worth it in the end, I think. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for attending the meeting. We'll send out high-level meeting notes for those who couldn't attend in case, you know, so no one has to write it down. So
They'll be going up here shortly.
Oh, easy. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Anytime.
All right, check out this parking lot.
Oh, if you can't reach, if you need something immediately or whatever, myself, Michael, Corolla, Kevin, Carmine, Jason, or Natalia, and everyone's kind of in their own, like, you know, everyone's, you know, we all look at different aspects of things. And then for those that I did name, if you don't know, have the answer for it or resolve it, do not hesitate to give me a call or send me an email.
Should all staff have a login already for the website? Because I don't think some of us do.
Yes. If you don't have one, Michael, could you help step them through it? Actually, and work with Jason as well, so that Jason, you know, might could also go through a
Yes, I would like to know how to help people with that. Yes.
Yes. Beautiful.
Actually, we could do that right now. If you have
All right. I'm gonna
sure
I'm gonna
do.
be all the way down there. I just gotta go and return these phone calls. So
Perfect.
All right.
Nat, can you stick around too, if you don't mind? I just want to have a sidebar with you. Yeah. Okay.
Yo.